good to see you here in Luxembourg. It is my first time in this building, so it's interesting and it's different. But we had many important topics that we discussed today. So first, of course, Ukraine. It is clear that all the member states want peace, and remember we had 27 countries who supported the ceasefire. Also, Ukraine agreed to unconditional ceasefire already a month ago. And yet we are seeing that Russia alone wants war, because we see the deadliest attack just yesterday, Sumy airstrike over the weekend, and it is clear that they are stalling and not wanting peace at all. So the only way to get Russia to negotiate seriously is putting some more pressure on Russia. Then second, the military aid to Ukraine. I mean, one is putting pressure on Russia, but then the other part is also helping Ukraine to defend itself. It is clear that we are the biggest provider of military aid. We are also the biggest provider or buyer from the Ukraine defense industry and the biggest supporter of the defense industry. And we are also, we have the mission of training Ukrainian soldiers, so over 73,000 soldiers we have already trained. So today we also discussed what more can we do when it comes to the missions. Should we expand the mandate of the missions that we have in order to also contribute to the security guarantees of coalition of the willing? Then when it comes to the initiative of delivering 2 million rounds of ammunition to Ukraine, then I'm happy to see that we have already reached 2/3 of that target. We still don't have 100%, but we definitely need to move forward with that. So a large majority of member states agree that we need to do more. I'm also happy to see Norway contributing with €4 million part, so it goes beyond European Union. And when it comes to the support for this year, then already this year member states, European Union, have contributed more than 23 billion euro to Ukraine, and last year it was 20 billion. Together with the help of United States, it's altogether 40 billion for last year, so we still have room to go. Then the third, putting the pressure on Russia. It is clear that we are working on the 17th package, also shadow fleet and different elements there to put it together for the Foreign Affairs Council in May. Then the second big topic is Middle East, and there, of course, we discussed the situation of Gaza. We will later today have a first ever high-level political dialogue with Palestine, also discussing the future. What all the member states agree is that we support the two-state solution, and we have also proposed 1.6 billion euros support for 3 years for Palestinian Authority, who should be the one providing also services to the Palestinians. When it comes to the overall situation, then it's very grave, and of course we really want the mediators to come back to the negotiation table and assume the ceasefire and release all hostages. The humanitarian aid we are giving to Gaza and Palestinians, it should not be politicized. What it means is that it has to reach the people that are in need. And Israel has the right to defend itself, but its current actions go beyond proportionate self-defense. We welcome the Arab plan for reconstruction of Gaza, but at the same time it lacks three important elements, which is funding, security and the governance of Gaza, but we are willing to work with our Arab partners, international partners to develop on these topics. Then we had a very intense discussion on Syria and whether to go on with the easing of the sanctions. And there it is clear that in order to reconstruct Syria, they need access to services. But it's also clear that we haven't seen many steps from the new leadership, and this future of Syria is still very fragile, but still hopeful. So we agreed that we will evaluate the process so far, because we have done some lifting of the sanctions, but we will also work to propose next steps, of course, keeping in mind the conditionalities, the red lines that we will put, or the conditions that we really want to see. So we will work on the technical specifications there, and then come back if we are ready to agree and move forward with this step. Then on Iran, we adopted sanctions for state-sponsored hostage-taking, so 9 individuals were sanctioned. And when it comes to the Iran nuclear talks in Oman, so these are a step in the right direction, because we don't want to see a nuclear weapon developed by Iran. Then we had a discussion on Africa, and there I thanked all those member states who have represented also European Union on their side on different events in different parts of Africa. What is clear that all the member states want more engagement with African countries, and not to lose them to any outside influence like Russia or China. We definitely have something to offer, and as we have the African Union and the European Union ministerial coming, it's the third of a kind, then we were discussing what could be the deliverables. Of course, also in Africa we see some very worrying developments, of course, like the worst humanitarian crisis in Sudan, so we also discussed what more can we do. We condemn the attacks of the Zamzam refugee camp by rapid support forces, and these assaults on the most vulnerable are utterly unacceptable and must stop. We also have tomorrow in London a Sudan Aid Conference where Commissioner Labib will represent the European Union, and it's organized together with France, UK and Germany. And then last point, we discussed yesterday, but also today. Yesterday we also had the Western Balkan ministers with us, and today we had very good discussions on Western Balkans. It is clear that the stability and security of the region is essential. And, if you look at the map, Western Balkans are in Europe, and geographically. They should also be in the European Union, and that's why the enlargement process is super important, and we need to move forward with that. We see Albania and Montenegro going really doing good steps and good reforms, so hopefully we'll have some success stories from there. Then in Bosnia and Herzegovina, it is in constitutional crisis, and it is clear that any attempt to break Bosnia and Herzegovina is unacceptable. The political leaders must bridge divisions, not to widen them. And when I was there, I was also seeing that enlargement is something that they all agree on. So they should move with the decisions on this regard, because the criticism of the international intervention could be, the international intervention could be phased out if everybody sees that they are able to make their decisions on their own. And then finally on Serbia and Kosovo, it is clear that the normalization of their relations is of utmost importance, and that's why the Belgrade-Pristina dialogue must continue. We have appointed a new special representative for Belgrade-Pristina dialogue, and I will also visit the countries later in May. But what was also discussed and very clearly said by different member states is that any participation in the 9th of May parades or celebrations in Moscow will be not taken lightly on the European side, considering that Russia is really waging a full-scale war in Europe. So I will stop here and I'm ready to take your questions.